introduction. We are not going to stay here for the full 90 minutes, but I just wanted to give people an idea of what's going on. The show is called Hearts of Stone Made Flesh, Letters from the Death Gate. We will be reading letters and discussing issues with men who have been in prison 30 years or more or who are on death row. Thank you for tuning in to Our Stories, Our Time. You could catch us on all platforms. Just put in Our Stories, Our Time on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. We got a podcast on anchor.fm. You could go back and listen to previous episodes. That'd be great. Why this show is important? Because there's so many juveniles out here today that are doing so many things that, hey, you can go to prison for. And a lot of people are not out here telling the individuals or the youth what are the consequences for split second decisions. And considering I have been doing prison ministry for 20 years, I am also an ex felon. Um, association Guilty by association is a real thing. If you're out there with people doing wrong, you want to go kick it with dude who's still in that car. When he get caught, you didn't even steal it, but you're just in the seat. You're going to get that um, grand theft auto charge and all of those charges too, and you will be in a place that you thought you would never be. A lot of people go to prison and say, oh, that was nothing because you only went to the county or you only went to jail. But when you're talking about being in a situation that could take 5, 10, 15, 50 years from your life, knowing that you really wanted to live life, that would be a tricky situation. So, the first person we're going to talk about tonight is Anthony D. Simmons. Okay. Anthony D. Simmons, inmate number A194507. This is public information. These are inmates that I have previously met when I was going inside the walls interviewing inmates. So if you were to go to Ohio Offender Search, you would be able to see this person. Inmate number 194507. Um, Date of birth 7/19. He was born in 1959. He was admitted into the Ohio Department of Corrections January 12th, 1987. Oh, hello. 1980. This the 80s. 1987 is 2021. Okay. Um, Offense information. The first offense, which is ran concurrent, was 25 years for aggravated robbery. For aggravated, two aggravated robberies, one 25 years, the other 25 years. Aggravated robbery, 4 counts of aggravated robbery with a maximum of 25 years, okay? And aggravated murder. So in the process of a robbery, aggravated robbery, somebody died, and that became a maximum years life. Life. Expected release date. Can you imagine it being 1987 and they say expected release date 2030? All his life. Sometimes life might be till you die. Sometimes life might mean we'll take your whole life and you take your butt back out on the street when you're like 70. No more family, no more kids, no more wives, no more nothing. So, Anthony Simmons, we're going to read one message from him, conclude with some things to think about. We are actually networking with the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, and I'm attempting to reacquire access to literally hear from Anthony D. Simmons within the prison on how this happened in a split second and how he spent the whole from 1987 his life incarcerated. So I just want to give you guys a little background on the inmate that we were going to discuss tonight, read his letter tonight. And if anybody had any feedback, you could just hit it up in here. They're new to all of this, but I think this is an important station with so many young people on it, so many people gaming, so many young people doing so many things that you might tune in and listen to some mad advice from people behind the walls. This letter is from Anthony Simmons, Letters from the Death Gate. I thank God for sisters like you. You both look like eternal beings in photos being sent to me. You are so fresh and exuding much power. You are a pillar to these times of the woman. I want you to know that I fully cherish my privilege of communication with you. So few have cared for my welfare. My children's love me without a doubt, yet my siblings has yet to show their love for me in all these years that I've been in prison. Most would think I was a black sheep or something, but this I assure you is not the case. When my wife died in 2010, I have been without the exchange needed between two mature adults, especially between a man and a woman. Nothing can take the place of that kind of energy being exchanged. Some things other men just don't know. So I am open for your exploitation if you need me. And I confess that I may be guilty of exploiting you too. That's the nature of our world we live in. It's not a bad thing, as some might think, because I flat out need your reminders in my life. I have a peak year coming this year, and I'm excited about all that is predicted in connection with me. You ask, what am I doing? Well, our stories, our time. I am really changing people's lives in here. On top of my efforts in the Mentor Alliance we created, I've started a training project that teaches broken men how to tell their valuable stories to impact their families and communities in ways they never thought possible. Also, I've been granted the privilege of facilitating a group of young people in a recovery service unit here that extracts powerful lessons from my experiences to promote personal change in these guys' life. It's working so well that I don't feel the strains of being in prison most of the time. I haven't got complacent in here, but there is lots of work to be done, both outside and inside these fences. I am not sold on issue one just yet because the dialogue is not transparent enough to be too excited. All my activity in here spearheaded from that graduation we had in the gym here after your inside and outside the box experience. Your effect on my life is eternal, just like you intended. Excuse me. I'm sending unconditional spirits of love. We are going to have our own phones here in a couple of months So perhaps we can talk directly here, coming soon. Everything is going to be all right. I always hope my words fall directly on the hearts of people because we all need encouragement, especially spiritually. Each day, it is difficult to live a Christian life. These are some very critical times we are living in. It's been a long time since I cried, and there have been times when I thought that was a serious option because the emotional pain is so severe in prison. Satan uses the desire of the flesh against us to break our integrity. Thank you for reminding me to refocus. It's like you knew my heart was heavy and I just needed a little push to keep going. I feel like a big ball for depression and broken hearts all around me. How many hearts have you broken, Cardia? God won't let us fall if we throw our burdens on Him. He is watching, and when we need arises by means of His Holy Spirit. He gives us the power beyond what is normal to sustain us. The road I travel has been tough all along. There is always a trap to destroy my faith, but I know we all both strive to hang onto our intimate bonds. I believe we will all be all right. Our faith is tested every day to prove who we really love, God or self. I believe if I hold on and don't give up, I will realize the desire of my heart. Only then will I know genuine happiness. There will be many more emotional letters. I know how much caring is. Even though we will still suffer some tough days, brighter days are ahead just over the horizon. The new order is imminent. Sanctify our future. Your attention is music to my ears. You bring joy to my heart. So let's stay busy spreading our lives and doing God's will and keeping our spiritual focus, never shrinking back to the former things of our old lives. And in due time, everything will be all right. Revelation 7:17. Truly, Anthony D. Simmons. That is our first letter from Letters Behind a Death Gate. Anthony Simmons asked me a question and he said, how many hearts have you broken, Cardia? And many. I've broken hearts and hurt many people, but not to the point of triggering someone to go outside the lines and have their lives stripped away. The point tonight in closing is that Anthony D. Simmons has been incarcerated since 1987, January. Mhm. And doesn't know if he will ever come home. But in the letter tonight, we still heard a man who has hope, who can encourage others, and is remorseful for whatever happened that night. Has taken accountability for the part that he played in the situation and has accepted he might die in prison. But what he has not accepted is that even though he is incarcerated, he can still spread a word and help others. So, parents, if you're worried about your children and scared in this world where in a split second you could be on either side of the line, The side of the line where someone has affected and come after you and done the things that Anthony D. Simmons has done. Or you could be the one doing it, the receiving side or the one doing it. Or you can be like many people who don't take their anger out on others, who don't use opportunities of poverty or weakness or being without to become a thief and steal, or to steal, rob, kill, or destroy. It's costly, young people. A night of fun could turn into a night of torment. A simple night at the movies from a drunken drive home could turn into a murderous night. So we're going to continue to bring letters from the death gate of broken men who have had hearts of stone, but I've been in prison for 30 years or more, and I've finally acquired hearts of flesh to be able to speak a word of encouragement to others. And hopefully soon we can actually go live from the institution on where these men are incarcerated. Mr. Anthony D. Simmons is in Chillicothe, one of the institutions that I have visited in my process of prison ministry. So think about it. Think about all the times that he said within his letter, it will be all right. Moms, dads, grandmas, aunties, uncles, cousins, everybody who has someone incarcerated, it will be all right. And those young people who are doing criminal activity know that you are doing wrong. Let's stop so you won't be in a situation as an Anthony D. Simmons. We will be here every Thursday at midnight reading letters from the Death Gate. Love, peace, blessings, respect.